Greetings, and thank you for tuning in to these candidate profiles. Each candidate was afforded the opportunity to answer a series of questions, which were provided to them in advance. I hope you find these profiles to be helpful in deciding the best candidate for Rowlett City Council Place 1. Early voting begins October 23rd, and Election Day is November 7th. More information can be found on the city's website. And now, on to the profile.
My name is Robbert van Bloemendaal. I believe that experience is critical for an incoming council person. Knowledge of the form of government, the people who are power brokers in the city, the methods of operation, and the experience of a city government is vitally important. This often means previous experience as a city councilman in local government offices is paramount. My long and difficult name is hard to pronounce, but easy to remember, and comes from my parents' Dutch heritage. My Christian name comes from my family tree, which my father wanted to retrieve. So remember, I have two B's in Robbert. My obvious Australian accent pinpoints my origin. Born in Sydney, lived in Sydney, Adelaide and Melbourne before emigrating to the US with my Texas bride 31 years ago in order to be closer to her family. In 2007, I became a US citizen. I purchased a travel agency in 1995 and transformed an unprofitable small business into a large, financially successful operation, including a family of 80 independent contractors and staff, and developed some niche opportunities. I purchased 5 additional travel agencies, had 3 separate locations, and we ended up with annual sales in excess of $15 million. I have a passion for photography, just like you, and creating videos, and I'm a member of the Rowlett photography group. I had a YouTube site with over 195 videos that had more than 1.9 million people view my travel videos. As a local business owner, it was a logical step for me to join the Chamber of Commerce. In 2008, I became an ambassador. I was elected by my peers to be the chairman of the ambassador and later invited to serve on the board of the Chamber of Commerce for 3 years. I created and manage a job site on Facebook with over 16,000 members who actively search for employment and employers who advertise positions available. Many people have been helped and found employment, specifically in the Lake Grey Hubbard area. I'm president of the Rowlett Lions Club, serving citizens and needy children in Rowlett. Over the years, we have donated over $100,000 more than any other service in Rowlett. I have also served on the board of directors for Keeping Rowlett Beautiful. On 3 occasions, I have participated in the American Cancer Society Relay for Life. At each fundraiser, I personally raised in excess of $1,000, and as a team leader, managed our group to be the second highest fundraising team for the meet. I have served on the City of Rowlett Audit Committee as a council liaison for the Arts and Humanities Commission and Parks Board. I'm a graduate of the Leadership Rowlett, have graduated from Police, Fire and Citizens Academy, as well as from CERT training. I have always supported our citizens in a variety of ways. I helped build the new Kids Kingdom and assisted during the aftermath of the Rowlett tornado by taking meals and hot coffees to the first responders. In the cold and rain during the middle of the night, I showed appreciation to them for their dedication to the citizens of Rowlett. I also assisted in many other ways, even going to Canton after their tornado as well, participating in other situations that may arise. My motivation to serve on the council comes from the experience I've had and the love to be able to help my fellow citizens. I maintain a customer-friendly focus when communicating with others. I look for the big picture and utilize my entrepreneurial background to view alternative scenarios. When necessary, I seek better ways to do things. I will maintain a conservative fiscal management with focus on enhancing quality, economic economic development in Rowlett.
Start that sentence over. You're fine.
I maintain a customer service focus when communicating with others. I look for the big picture and utilize my entrepreneurial background to view alternative scenarios. When necessary, I seek better ways to do things. I will maintain a conservative fiscal management with a focus on enhancing quality economic development in Rowlett while being mindful of the needs and desires of the citizens. With the growth of our city, we need to expand the emergency services we provide, and this would also include an honest review of the emergency services personnel salaries. I pledge to be your open and available council member in and out for the community, and I will have open forums, town halls, coffee talks, and open meetings. The people of Rowlett will always be able to come to me with their thoughts and opinions. Our city council should reflect all the voices within our city, and we must ensure all the citizens have the same opportunities to participate in our community. I love the city of Rowlett, its people, and what we are.
Are there any specific policy changes you would put forth if elected? If so, please talk specifically but succinctly about those.
Yes, I believe the City Council should have to approve the hiring and firing of any senior managers working for the City of Rowlett, especially as they are responsible to the citizens. Recently, there have been some issues that we have not been advised on and that are very puzzling. I understand that the Council is only allowed to hire certain employees, and I wonder just what investigations were held to appoint a new city manager who came to us with a past from another city that was questionable. As a result of his employment, 5 leading employees were fired, and again, no information was given as to why, especially since they were let go within a very short period after his employment, even though they had served many years faithfully to the city. So I believe the council should have more responsibility to the citizens.
Please talk about each of these topics of housing and what you believe is important for the future of Rowlett. First, would you be in favor of additional multifamily apartments and townhomes, and why or why not?
I would like to hold off to any new apartment approvals until we've had time to evaluate the return on investment for all the developments under construction or which have been approved. The only apartments I would approve would be for senior citizens who need help. While I have approved apartments in the past, the developments were not delivered as originally designed and approved. I understand that some people have the desire to support 100,000 people living in Rowlett. We do not have the infrastructure to support the current citizens, and an increase would not be beneficial. So no, I would not support more multifamily developments.
Next, what do you believe is the role of the Rowlett Housing Finance Corporation?
Since the City Council has taken over the Housing Finance Corporation, I and the citizens have heard nothing or seen no meeting minutes to tell us what is going on. Initially, I believe it was set up to help people with lower incomes to be able to afford housing.
And third, do you believe Rowlett's short-term rental rules are effective? Should they be made stronger or weaker? What is your individual position on short-term rentals?
I'm against short-term rentals, as they and the occupants do not provide a valuable increase in income for the city, do not benefit the commercial businesses that we have, and often create undesirable situations for our nearby citizens.
Finally, what specific considerations would you give to a rezoning request?
Zoning is an issue that should be measured against the rules and regulations we already have in place. We have a P&Z committee that should be able to vet any requests that are presented that match the current city laws. Should any situation develop where a property needs to be rezoned that does not meet the current guidelines, a proposal should come to the council, then be approved by the P&Z committee as normal.
Do you believe departments are appropriately staffed and employees appropriately compensated? Are there any staff positions that should be added or removed? Please elaborate.
The city manager is the only one who can change these needs. If he needs more or fewer staff, he can make any changes he feels necessary, which we have seen by the people he has let go recently. In the compensation is insufficient, he should come to the council and seek more money. As I said earlier, the council may have to change the charter to have more control over the positions they have control over.
Given the state of flux regarding home values and property tax rates around the area, would you strive to lower the tax rate if elected? And if so, what steps would need to be taken to accomplish this?
I would like to propose that over the next 5 years we provide our citizens with a 5-cent tax reduction, subject to economic circumstances and approval by the majority of the council. As we all know, there has been a substantial increase in home values, meaning a big increase in tax income for the city. There has also been a tax increase recently instituted by the council, yet there has been no substantiated explanation of how all this income will be spent to the benefit of the citizens of Rowlett. I will encourage sourcing of other funds for more bonds, federal and state grants, and other sources of income to speed up the repair of our streets and alleys. I will also seek explanations as to how all this new income will be spent and if it can be reduced.
Residents of Rowlett recently approved passage of $76.3 million in facilities bonds in May 2023, with additional CIP projects being discussed for a May 2024 bond election. Are you in favor of a 2024 bond election? And if so, what items that are being considered by the CIP task force do you believe are critical?
Well, it all depends. I would need to be educated on precisely what the items are that they may be included in the bond and the necessity, how they are to be paid for, and what the benefit would be for the citizen. Have the citizens been advised what the council is planning to do with this?
Beyond police, fire, and public works, what are your top 3 priorities, and in what order? In a scenario where one city department or service must be eliminated, what would you choose and why?
Well, my top 3 priorities would be finance, public works, and police. I believe that we need to accurately investigate the funding available to the council through taxes, grants, any other financial income, plus bonds authorized by the citizens, and not those without their permission, such as the police and the fire station on Sapphire Bay in excess of $12 million. Plus, we should also look at reducing the taxes by 5 pennies over a 5-year period to reduce the huge tax increases. Public works is very important to help Rowlett upgrade and maintain the infrastructure that badly needs our help with growing population. And police, with all the new apartments and citizens moving to our city, an effective police force is very important for our security and well-being. If I was to delete one city department, it would be the fire department, as I believe they have the vehicles and the membership to cover our needs for the immediate future.
Transparency in government is very important, but state law allows some topics to be discussed in closed executive session. Please share what the Texas Open Meetings Act, sometimes referred to as TOMA, means to you and how it will impact your ability to be transparent with the public.
Texas Open Meetings Act simply requires government entities to keep public businesses open to the public. So, to my way of thinking and to support the citizens of Rowlett, I would do my best to forward information on any meetings that are not closed in executive session to a form where citizens can have easy access to the council, what the council has discussed. Probably the best and easiest way would have a social media site that almost anyone can have access to.
Local government in Texas is designed to be nonpartisan. If elected, how will you set aside any party line positions you might have to represent all of Rowlett, residents, businesses, and guests, on the local, regional, and state and federal levels?
If I'm elected to the City of Rowlett City Council, I would give up any political affiliations I have and give up my position as election judge just so that I can support all the citizens that live in Rowlett, no matter what their beliefs. It is important to support anyone, any group, and all our citizens in an effort to provide a benefit to our community, to anyone who may be able to help us. I believe that I have done this in my two prior sessions serving on the City Council.
City Council is a bigger job than many realize. How many hours per week do you anticipate spending on city business? Are you committed to serving the remainder of this unexpired term? Under what circumstances might you consider resigning?
Well, the time is anything. It could be spent sufficient hours to maintain all of the responsibilities associated with the City Council. It could be 5 hours or 15 hours or more, depending on the activities planned. Yes, I am committed to serving the remainder of this term, otherwise I wouldn't be here. I have no intent to resign and will do my best to fulfill all the obligations assigned to this position, as I have demonstrated in the past 2 elections.
Talk briefly about Rowlett's form of government, which is a council-manager home rule municipality, and how you will work within those parameters to be effective as a council member.
First of all, the definition of a home rule. Home rule cities with a population over 5,000 in which the citizens have adopted a home rule charter to define the structure, power, duties, and authority of their local government. Home rule cities look to their local charters to determine what they may do. A home rule city may generally take any action that is not prohibited by the Texas Constitution or statutes, as long as the authority is granted by the charter of the city. Home rule cities have the full power of self-government and may take any action in the interests of the citizens' health, safety, and welfare that is not contrary to the Texas and U.S. Constitution or federal or state laws. Understanding and learning what our city charter defines allows, prevents, and states what the council and citizens can do is the legal obligation that the council has over its citizens.
Thank you for your time today in completing this candidate profile. Please share any closing comments you have and let voters know how to reach you with any questions. Feel free to share your website, email, phone number, or any other contact information as well.
Issues I am concerned about: apartments, transparency, taxes, water costs, infrastructure, Bayside and Sapphire Bay. If any of these issues are of concern to you, please vote for me. If you wish to contact me, please visit my Facebook page at Robbert Van Bloemendaal. Don't forget the 2 B's in Robbert, or email me at rvbdallas@yahoo.com.